Revenge films.
About 5 years ago, my sister Allie got a divorce. It was a huge mess. My sister and her husband Bob wanted to have kids together, but for some reason she couldn't get pregnant. Turns out something was wrong with her husband's sperm or something, but he wouldn't admit it, and his family treated her like crap. His dad once said to her, "You can't even get pregnant? What kind of a wife are you?" She thought about getting a divorce many times, but her mother-in-law was very nice. She was always on her side. Her father-in-law was stubborn as hell, so he didn't listen to anyone, but still, it meant a lot to her that she wasn't alone. Then the father-in-law passed away. His wife and son split the inheritance 50-50. Bob didn't tell Allie anything about the inheritance, and she didn't ask. After that, the three of them started living together. Things were pretty peaceful for a while, but 2 years later, her mother-in-law got in a car accident. She broke her hip. After being hospitalized for 3 months, she came home, but she was pretty old, and she now needed a wheelchair to get by. Allie took out money from her savings and renovated the house to make it wheelchair accessible. She put handrails in the hallway and redid the bathroom and the shower room. She had tens of thousands of dollars saved up, but she spent most of it on the renovation work. She tried talking to her husband about the renovation, but he said, "No way, it's a waste of money. She got her share of her inheritance. She can afford to live in a nursing home if she wants to. I'm not paying a dime to renovate the house. You really want to do it? Fine. Use your own money." He got a lot of money from the inheritance, but he refused to help her. His mom didn't know about this though. She offered to pay him back for the renovation, but he lied to her and said that he paid for it with the inheritance money, so she didn't have to worry about a thing. But when she found out about this, she said it was fine. She wanted her mother-in-law to save her money. My sister was working too, so they hired a nursing care helper for a while. But spending time with a complete stranger every day was pretty tough on her. She was always exhausted when my sister came home from work. So she decided to quit her job and stay at the house so she could look after her. But she had no savings and no job, so Bob gave her money for groceries, and her mother-in-law paid for everything she needed to take care of her. But Bob only gave her the bare minimum. She never had enough money to buy anything for herself. When I ran into my sister one time, she was wearing worn-out clothes. I was kind of shocked to see her like that. Seeing this, her mother-in-law offered to give her an allowance, but she refused, saying,
"We're family. It's okay, really. Save your money. It doesn't hurt to have money."
But for some reason, Bob didn't seem too happy about this. At first, she was able to walk on her own using handrails, but after a few years, she started getting weaker. Soon, she couldn't even walk on her own anymore. Allie had to take her to the bathroom and help her shower every day. Things were getting pretty tough for her, but she never complained. She was always smiling. Then she told me something shocking. While she was home taking care of his mother, Bob was out there cheating on her. When she found out, she was devastated. Can you blame her? She was taking care of his own mother, and he has the nerve to cheat on her with some other woman? What an asshole! When she told me that, I told her to leave him. I felt bad for his mom, but still. But she said she owed her a lot, so she didn't want to get a divorce just yet. I was always the stupid one in the family. I never think too much about anything. On the other hand, my sister was the diligent and smart one. She always had principles. She was probably planning to leave him after his mother passed away. A few years later, she passed away. But a few days before she died, she gave Allie an envelope. It was a pretty big envelope. She told her to open it after she died. She opened the envelope. It had a letter in it. It was an apology letter. She felt bad that she couldn't get a divorce because of her. She wanted her to move on and live her life. There were also pictures of Bob and his mistress in the envelope. I guess she knew everything. She collected evidence for her in her spare time so she could get a divorce right after her passing. Turns out she asked her sister to help her. Oh, and she left a will saying she wanted to give all her inheritance to her sister and Allie. She once asked Allie to take some documents to the city office, so she knew she had some kind of will, but she wasn't expecting that. Her mother-in-law was actually not related to Bob by blood. She was Bob's dad's second wife. Allie knew about that too, but as it turns out, she didn't actually adopt him, legally speaking. That, Allie didn't know. I guess that's why he was able to go out there and cheat on his wife while she looked after his mom. Technically, they weren't related, but still. And since he wasn't actually her son, he wasn't entitled to any of her inheritance, even if she didn't have a will. But he didn't know that. He thought he was gonna get all her money, so he spent tens of thousands of dollars on his mistress. When he found out that he was getting nothing, he was shocked, and Allie hired a lawyer to help with the divorce. She had more than enough evidence to put him down. She asked him to pay her $50,000 for damages. He was shocked. "I can't pay that. I didn't even get any inheritance money," he said.
You refuse to take care of your own mother, and you've been unfaithful to your wife for many years. I think $50,000 is a fair amount. If you don't want to, fine. We'll just ask the judge to freeze your assets. Your choice,
said the lawyer. Bob was finished. He signed the papers without saying a word. And as for his mistress,
"You said you were getting tons of money, liar!"
Then she left him. He lost everything. He took out a loan and paid my sister in full. He was now up to his neck in debt. He had to work day and night to pay off his debt. Using the money she got from the inheritance and her ex-husband, Allie went back to school to become a nurse. She was 35 at the time.
I might be a bit old, but I thought I'd be able to help more people if I became a nurse.
I was so proud of her. She seemed really happy too. I'm just glad things worked out for her. Her mother-in-law left her all that money to thank her. There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, I think she wanted to get revenge on her no-good son Bob. Her husband was a dick too, so like father, like son, right? I guess my sister just has bad luck when it comes to men. I can probably say the same thing about her mother-in-law as well. But she saw herself in Allie. That's probably why she was so nice to her.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.